Yeah, we
research?
did decrease our weight in Google, and I'll tell you the balance that we made for why we decided to keep it. So the one thing I said, the critical ingredient for differentiated AI is data. And honestly, I mean, I'm not sure there's anybody with truly better data than Google. They know every search that we've done, they 90% search market share out of China. So every search that we've done for at least the last 20, 25 years, what we do on the internet with Chrome, what we do using their email and other services, they have an enormous amount of unbelievable data.
Right.
But they're also an incumbent with a fantastic search business, again, 90% market share outside of China. And all of that's going to be challenged because I do think the consumer will one day not go to search as it is today, but will go to a chatbot for information, for planning a trip, for shopping. Will Google be that place? Maybe. Will it be ChatGPT individually, or will it be ChatGPT through Bard, which is Microsoft? It's just so hard to know right now. And we did scenario analysis. Let's say even Google wins, but they own 2/3 market share in a new world versus 90% market share. And it's so early to know what the monetization will be, of AI, and we know the costs are higher, that we just thought that there were just, different risks where, Google went from being, pretty practically an effective monopoly. I hope the antitrust folks don't listen to me on that one. To,
I'm sure
just
they
being,
are.
yeah, to just being in a much more, candidly challenged position. And I don't think that, I haven't concluded that they're not going to be a winner, but again, 2/3 market share is different than 90. And so we decided to keep Google, but decrease our weight in our portfolio. One of the best company visits I've ever had in my career was sitting in a conference room with Jensen Huang at the whiteboard explaining accelerated computing, AI, Nvidia's differentiation, their entire ecosystem to us. It was really a highlight moment of my career, and all my colleagues that were with us say that. So we've been an investor for a long time. We've been investors in other semiconductor companies also for many years. But I was underweight that space as we got to the fall, and all the work that we're continuing to do on Nvidia, on cloud computing, on the so-called end of Moore's law in an age that was dominated by the Intels of the world to the new age of accelerated computing or parallel processing. We knew that there was something really going on there, and that the long-term secular theme, yes, with the ups and downs of the cyclical, was the world is going to need as many semiconductors as they could get for a long time. But the market often, gets myopic, and we haven't hit the recession yet, but a lot of technology, software, cloud computing, semiconductors first started hitting the recession last year. And so all these stocks traded down. For Amazon, for some simple purposes, let's just divide it in two. They're obviously the dominant, global e-commerce retailer. And think of the data that they have on you and every other consumer about how you shop, what you want. If you buy A, are you more likely to buy B? Already today using AI for recommendations of what you should buy. I said earlier that having the right data is critical to AI.
Right.
I also think the way that we shop will change. And Amazon, of course, has to innovate on this, but one day there will be a chatbot or the like that you will go to on Amazon rather than doing a search. You will start talking to Amazon about the kind of products that you want. I need shorts for my kids. My kid is a youth large and he loves soccer. Please show me a set of shorts. And they will. The other side of the business is, of course, the cloud computing business. I've said that I do believe AI workloads will be built on top of these cloud computing platforms. Amazon today is the largest platform. Right now, maybe Microsoft Azure has the lead in AI, or at least that's perceived. But we know Amazon is doing lots of things in that area. For example, developing their own chips to deliver, great computing and networking to their customers, delivering their own large language models, as well as other large language models that you can have on their platform, and the so-called other tools to build these workloads. So I think they will be a major competitor to have AI workloads on their platform. Meta, Facebook, Instagram is not dissimilar. I mean, they have enormous amounts of data from having, 2+ billion global users who basically interact with them every single day. So whether it's what content, to show you, it's what they're doing on their messaging platforms, including WhatsApp, for you to engage with retailers and businesses and using AI to suggest the right things to you and for you. We know they're competing with TikTok and what's called Reels, short form video. Again, knowing what to show each person is based on AI. And just this week, they quote unquote open sourced their own model and announced a partnership with Microsoft, for example, where that model is going to be available on the Microsoft Azure platform, but they will make that model available on other platforms. And if you are building your own use cases on the Meta model, you will have to pay them one day when you roll out enterprise workloads. And the other thing that they've gotten a lot of criticism for is the so-called metaverse. I think they've right-sized their investment in that. But when you think about the future metaverse and the important role that generative AI is going to play in how you interact with it, what you see on it, future games or future content, I think it's really important. Autonomous driving has been built on AI, machine learning for years. Even what we call today, which is ADAS, which are basically driver assistance, safety systems that most cars have. These are computing systems that are basically being trained by computers. They are a form of AI. So getting to what they call level 3, level 4, ultimately level 5 autonomous driving, which is the human being doing less and less to one day the car drives itself, is frankly probably one of the most challenging AI workloads or developments, honestly, in human history. Tesla just had their conference call. There was lots of talk on AI, and Elon talked about a number of things that you need, and two of the things that he talked about are what we've been talking about in our session today: data and compute. Elon is rolling out Tesla's own in-house developed chip they call Dojo, but he also joked on the call that if I could get more chips from Nvidia and Jensen Huang, I would buy up as many as I can, and that our future training systems will utilize both chips. And when it comes on the data side, nobody has the real world driving data that Tesla has. And by improving their compute, they'll be able to train their systems faster than anybody.
How much does Twitter matter to Tesla?
Yeah, I frankly think it matters, very, very little. Let's be real. What Elon's been able to do with multiple companies is, I'm not sure there's a lot of precedent for it. And when you think about, for example, just take SpaceX, which we are investors in, and Tesla, what they've been able to do. So you don't have to guess it. You don't have to predict it. Yes, sometimes he lays out schedules for when they're going to have autonomous driving or full self-driving that they haven't met. But think about what they've already done today with, Tesla today has the best-selling electric vehicle, or the best-selling car, not just electric vehicle in the world, in the Model Y. And anyone that drives these cars knows how incredible they are. On SpaceX, no one else has ever landed a rocket from space. That used to be science fiction. It's a reality. There's somewhere over 100 in a row. They are 80 or 90% of the payload to orbit this year. So these are real things that they've done, and he's been able to do both things incredibly well. And yes, if it was only Elon, would I be worried with how he's splitting his time? Because it's almost, inhuman to do all of that. But no, he has lots of really, really good people.